Hello.
Good morning. We are live. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, family. Good morning, TikTok. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, LinkedIn. And good morning, YouTube. Good morning. Good morning. Wherever you are joining us from this morning. We are happy to have you. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Mona. How are you, Queen? It's good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am positioning my phone. I know the universe is working on a what you call it on a tripod for me. Yes, yes, yes. How is everyone doing this morning? Good morning. Good morning. I see somebody on TikTok from Jamaica. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, I am Dr. Daphne Clarke-Hudson. I am a coach, educator. And what do? I work with my clients to provide the needed education to them for access to their why and soul purpose, to help them to access their why and soul purpose. So just to inform TikTok, I am also on StreamYard, which allows me to be on seven different platforms. So for those of you who will be on Facebook, kindly come in and participate and jot in the comments as well. I'm excited about this topic, and as I was doing my meditation and I'm saying to Spirit, what should I talk about this morning? And this was a motivation blessing, Madam Hudson. I'm not able. I don't see what you typed before. Are you on Facebook? Because if you come on Facebook, I'm able to read the comments over there. All right. So I was kind of negotiating with the Spirit. What do you want me to talk about this morning? And the Spirit says, well, how did you get to where you are? What were some of the things you did that was out of your comfort zone? And immediately my intuition said to me, how did you 10x your confidence? How did you 10x your confidence? And that's what I'm going to be talking about this morning. So I hope you will get something out of my sharing. And even if you don't 10x right away, you decide how to gauge and monitor your success as you go along. Yes? Can we agree on doing that? I want to thank Miss Ramona for being with me this morning. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, Queen. Thank you. You all know she's my sidekick. She's the one that got me on TikTok and everything. We go way back, way back from Periscope. Some of you don't even know what Periscope is or was, right? And I remember when I went out to Houston to do my live event, and she was at the airport getting me everything. She went above and beyond, and I am indebted to her. Money can never pay for that. So when we are in business and whatever we are doing in life, make sure we build powerful relationships, because those are the things that will help us to get to where we are. So Mona, I applaud you for all the people you help, Queen. And I can't wait till I see you step on a stage somewhere to share your phenomenal story as well. So let's get this party going. Before I go on, one more piece of housekeeping. 9 a.m. Eastern is now going to be my regular time that I broadcast on Mondays through Fridays. Mondays through Fridays. However, during the week, I will go and do live videos that I post on my TikTok as part of my content that will also go on my YouTube channel. But collective live streaming will be an hour, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern. And I hope that many of you will make the time out, because the truth is, I am building content to keep educating people all over the world. That is what I'm doing. I'm building content, and as we progress over these next months, you are going to hear a lot more of what's going on. Please stick around with me until the end of this broadcast, and I will have some information, additional information for you at the end. All right? So let's delve into the teaching for this episode. Again, if you are just joining, you have no idea who this queen is. Again, I am Dynamic Daphne. I'm a coach educator. I provide education for my supporters and listeners all over the world so they can tap into their soul purpose. On this episode, we will be talking about how I 10x my confidence. How I 10x my confidence. My first step was I created my own affirmations. When I was in Jamaica, I began going to a church. I wasn't a member, but I would go there during the week and occasionally on Sundays. And that was where my meditation process began. I remember there was the minister there was Pearl Davis. Pearl Davis. And that's where I learned to meditate. At that time, I was going to Moravian church and they weren't doing anything about meditation. But when I began going to the Unity Church, I don't know if any of you know about Unity. When I began going to the Unity Church, I learned about this method that we can do to tap into ourselves, to still our minds, and to access the universe, God, and source at a higher level. I also learned while I was going to the Unity Church, yes, they are printed meditation, but you can also create your own daily affirmations that you can use. So, listen, I said, hey, it's working for all these different people. I'm going to do what she says. So, I began creating my own affirmations and I began using them. I did not tell anybody at the Moravian church I was going. I did not tell them anything about me going to the other church, because you and I know how religious folks get. Oh, no, you're going to get all mixed up into that new age thing. So I did not say anything. That was my first step towards freedom. That was my first step to release myself out of religious bondage. Now, the second thing I did was to create mantras, M-A-N-T-R-A-S, mantras. And mantras are power statements that you develop and you live by them, regardless of what is happening. You stay true to your mantras, and when the heat is turned up and things get too hot, you tap in and you say your mantras and you hold on to them. That process I also had learned at the Unity Church. And I'm sitting here today sharing how I 10x. Hi, Sharon. How are you, Queen? I'm sitting here sharing how I 10x my confidence with you. And the affirmation and the mantras are still part of what I do for myself, and I share with many of my clients. The next thing I did, I said yes to sitting on board of directors. I sat on board of directors where I was the only Black person there. Yes, I was in Connecticut. I was the only Black person who is sitting on those board of directors. But you know what? I had never sat on board of directors. When I was back in Jamaica, I was the president for the Montego Bay, Atlanta sister city committees for like maybe 15 or so years. And I got that experience. I went from Jamaica to Atlanta as an official delegation to be guest of the mayor of Atlanta. That time it was Mayor Maynard Jackson. I didn't know anything about traveling overseas to be delegate, but we went. And let me tell you something. I messed up so bad on that first TV interview. That was my first experience to be live interviewed on TV. I froze. The woman asked a question. I don't remember what the question was, but I know I did not give the right answer. But you know what? That did not stop me. I went from there, I catapulted from there to continue to build myself. I did not let that get in the way. The other members of my delegation, they encouraged me, and they were still proud of me as their leader. And no one ever said to me after the interview, oh, you know, you answered that question wrong. No, nobody said that. Somebody applaud me for standing up and making a difference for the city of Montego Bay. You got to do what you got to do, even when it scares you. Even when it scares you. If you are looking to 10x or 20x your confidence, you got to do the things that scare you. Say yes to the things that scare you. Stop saying yes to people manipulating you and go after the things that scare you. When I moved to Connecticut, and when I got the opportunity to be on the board of directors, I already mentioned that I was the only Black person there until I went on a few more boards and I began to see a woman by the name of Patricia Keith and then a gentleman by the name of Darrell Dennis. So now it was 3 Black people. But you know what? Every time I would go to those meetings with the white people, those were most times the big boys. I went to the meeting with my journal and I am writing down notes because I figure there's got to be something I can learn from here. And I did learn a lot. I went on the board of directors for the Connecticut Conference on Volunteerism. Not only was I a board of director there, I was also one of the #1 facilitator for years. I could not have been where I am today. I could not have been speaking to you about 10x in my confidence if I did not go into uncharted waters and make my own way. So instead of you sitting down and be nervous all the time and say, oh, I can't do this because I didn't go to this, I didn't go to that. Baloney. Step out for yourself and begin to make a difference. Learn from your mistakes, whatever they are. I mentioned to you the mistake I made on my first TV interview in Atlanta years ago. I did not let that get in my way. I did it, made a mistake, I learned from it, and I keep growing, I keep growing, I keep growing. If I did not learn from that mistake, I would not have the confidence now to be talking to you. All right? The next thing I did to 10x my confidence, I created my own, I hosted rather, my own blog talk radio. I don't know how many of you know that before podcasts was so prevalent or so what's the word I'm looking for? Before we had so many podcasts, we had a platform called Blog Talk Radio. Anybody knows about Blog Talk Radio? Have you ever been a part of that? Before we had all these podcasts, we had Blog Talk Radio. And because of my how many years on Blog Talk Radio, I have thousands of episodes on iTunes. Thousands of episodes on iTunes. And while I was on Blog Talk Radio, it gave me the opportunity to interview people in different regions of the world. There were times when I interviewed people where they needed translators. I remember even interviewing Kobe Huberman in Israel. He's friend of my friend Jennifer Sertle. And Jennifer is the one who introduced me to Kobe because she and Kobe had written a book together. And I went to their book signing up in Rochester, New York. Again, at that event, I was only the second Black person there. You guys need to stop letting your culture and your ethnicity stop you from going into powerful places. Stop it. Our ancestors have gone through it. It's now for us to set the page for our children and our grandchildren. Stop sitting down in mediocrity because you're holding on to history in a negative way. You are not going to be 10xing by doing that. You are not going to 10x by doing that. One of the other ways that I 10xed my confidence was by also having a written blog. And I said that I need to start that up again because you can write articles and have them published in different. Good morning, Lady Gemini. Yes, I used to write blogs and have them posted on different platforms. That's something I gave up. I need to start that again. All right? I was also, while 10xing my confidence, I was also a contributing writer for a magazine out of Pennsylvania. I don't know if Ramona remember the magazine. She could write it in there for me. It's a woman's magazine. It was a beautiful experience because their membership was globally. And I got the opportunity to serve people from all over the world. I mentioned about my Blog Talk Radio. I also need to let you know that I was bold enough and courageous enough to host my own cable TV show for over 20 years in Connecticut. I think if you put a New Day TV on Google, you will find a few episodes. I know I have some episodes on my YouTube channel. And I do have a lot of other episodes that I am going to repurpose. And you will be able to have access to them to change your life as well. That was a phenomenal experience for me. A New Day TV was an experience for me where that was the only time that I was obedient to my intuition. That was the only time I was obedient to my intuition. And I will tell you why I said that. I never ever script my shows. Just like I do here. I don't script my shows. I depend on the intuition, on my intuition and the spirit to download in me to tell me what it is I need to tell you, what I need to talk about, what people are struggling with. And I tell you, my first disobedience with my intuition. Can I share that with you guys? When I launched the show, the way how Spirit gave me the show, I was told to go have the show. I do not need to script the show. I need to show up with a pen and a clipboard, and a notebook with paper. And everything I need to talk about will be downloaded to me, and I need to put it on the paper, like in bullet points. Yes. Hey, Camille. Good morning. Yes, I did all of that. However, I also created a 3-ring binder. I still have that binder. One day I'll show it to you guys. It was a white binder, and on the cover it says A New Day TV show. And inside the binder, I had the TV show all scripted. Although the Spirit told me not to script it, I still scripted it out of disobedience. And let me tell you something. I sat right there in the studio, and I know my camera, 3 cameramen were there, and I heard them counting. And I'm looking all excited as they are counting. And I open the book when they point to me to start, after they count down. I opened the 3-ring binder, and I could not see anything. Everything was blurry. Everything was blurry. I wiped my eyes. When I looked up at the 3 cameramen, they were not blurry. But when I looked on the 3-ring binder that I had the show scripted on, that was blurry. And the Spirit said to me, close the binder. Close the binder. And I obey, And the minute I obey and close the blinder, spirits start to download to me all the information that I need for the episode. And for the entire 20 plus years that I did that show, I never had to script any of the episodes. And when I would have guests that had gone on other producers' show, they would ask me, how many questions do I need to send you? And I said, none. The only thing you need to know is to give me your bio. You don't need to send me any questions. And they would say to me, but when I go on this person's show and that person's show and the other person's show, I have to bring questions. I need to send you. I said, no. But when they continue to battle with me, I said, okay, here is my email address. Kindly email it to me. And then they got excited and said yes. Guess what? The best script of life is understanding spirit. That's right, Camille. You understand me and you know where I'm at. And when they turned up on the set, they look on my table and they see a clipboard with some plain paper and a pen. And sometimes I have their bio and nothing else. And they say to me, did you get the questions? I say, yes, I did. And they're looking around, but where is it? I say, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe. And it never fails. I am telling you, over the 20 plus years, it never failed one time when those same guests said, this is the best interview I have ever had. This is the best interview I have ever had. And that was when I decided to say, listen, I'm not going to fight spirit. I'm going to do my shows the way the spirit said to do them. And that's what get me to where I am today. I knew about my gift of intuitiveness. And although I was using it on my TV show and on my blog talk radio show, I was never openly using it in my business and my everyday life. Can I be vulnerable and tell you why I wasn't doing it? I was so active in the church. And intuitiveness is not sexy. In religion, we are looked on as people who are devious. And when we talk about intuitive gifting and spirit, good morning, Brandon, we are always being categorized as evildoers and things like that. So I suppressed it for years. It was not until I met my mentor, God rest his soul, he's now in heaven, but I know he's proud of me to be walking in all of who I am called to be. Dr. Miles Monroe, he is the one who also helped me to understand about my intuitiveness and my gift and let me know that, listen, my sister, God gave it to you. Forget about what other people in the church will say about you. You need to honor who you're called to be. So as I continue at the time, I was not even so positive that I was connecting myself. I was just doing what I'm called to do. I know that every time I would do an interview, I'm on such a high, depending on what time I would do the episode. There's times I can sit in the green room and get down off my high. There were other times when I had to sit in my car before I could drive home. When you are looking to 10x your confidence, you got to do what it takes. You got to do what it takes. When I got the opportunity to be interviewing people in New Zealand and all over the place, I have never been to those countries. Yet there I was on the telephone doing radio interview with those people all over the world. I'm grateful that God gave me the opportunity to be able to do that. The next thing that I did to 10x my confidence, and those of you that just came, we are talking about what did I do to 10x my confidence. That's what I'm talking about today. I'm also on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. That's where I am today. And for those of you who are not yet connected to me, I ask you why. Click on my link tree so that you can connect with me. I'm not saying I'm the right mentor or coach for you. If I am not, the one thing I'm going to let you know, I'm honest enough to let you know that I'm not, and I will point you in the direction of finding somebody else, because I am always operating with integrity and honesty. I'm not going to take you because you have the money to pay me. I'm going to work with you because I can solve the problem that you're going through. Yes? Now, the next thing that happened to me after I started my TV show and my blog talk radio show, one of the things that began happening for me was that I now was getting invitation to be keynote speaker at other people's live event. I could be a keynote speaker. I was a leader of a workshop. I remember working and to co-facilitate with Stedman Graham at the Power Networking Conference. I don't know if anybody knows who Stedman Graham is. And I look at myself and I say, God, thank you. Thank you for putting me alongside all these people with confidence who has impact all over the world. When I co-facilitated with Stedman, he had me cracking up because he said to the people just before we introduce ourselves and to begin, Stedman said to the people, listen, I know it's less than half of you who are here to listen to Daphne and I. Less than half of you. I know the other, maybe 3/4 of you just come because you all hear that I'm in relationship with a woman by the name of Oprah Winfrey. So you come to see me in person, what I'm like. So for those of you who came for that purpose, he said you can take your good look. Those of you that want a picture, take your picture and you can leave, so the rest who come to learn, we can get on with the business at hand. Guess what? Nobody left. No one left. So he said, well, Daphne, I think they are here to hear from us. But you know that he said that because maybe it was true, but because he opened it up, who you think is going to get up and to leave? Nobody. Nobody. And I thank God for that opportunity, that I was able to work alongside all of these powerful individuals who was making a mark and still is making their mark on society. I don't think I have ever shared this experience with anybody before. But I'm so glad that the Spirit has me now sharing it and talking about it. I've worked alongside hundreds of influential people, but I'm not the one to be going out there to be name dropping. But you know what? When Spirit needs a name to be dropped, Spirit is going to bring it out, like it just did with Stedman Graham. So, my opportunity to be a speaker is a phenomenal one. I remember my first summit that I was a keynote speaker for, but I think it was maybe 14 years ago. A lady by the name of Karen from, Karen is from New Jersey. She invited me to be a keynote speaker on her first summit. I think it was called Heart Tribe Summit or something. At that summit, I made an offer for a 6 months coaching with me. Excuse me. And that coaching let me just moisten my vocal cords. Let me just get a little water here. The offer I made was going to be expiring at the end of December. And a lady by the name of Julie from Colorado sent me a message saying, I will be signing up with you on the 9th of January. I pointed out to her that the offer did not extend over to January. It ended midnight on the 31st. You know what she said to me? I'm not interested in when it ends. I'm just letting you know that on the 9th of January is when I will be signing the contract. Because she said, the minute you began speaking, I want you to listen to me. I want you to hear me clearly. Whether you are listening on a replay or you are listening live, I want you to listen clearly to what I am saying. Julie said to me, the minute you began speaking, the Spirit said to me, that's the coach for you. So she said, I did not call you to tell you that you're the coach for me because of the promotion you're making. I call you because of what the Spirit instilled in me. And let me tell you something. My time working with Julie was phenomenal. Amazing, amazing, amazing. That client saw some things in me that honestly I did not even see myself at the time. One of the things she said to me, she said, Dr. Daphne, you need to clone yourself. I said, what do you mean by that? She said, you need to clone yourself so that there are multiple Daphnes all around the world. She said, you need to train coaches that do the work like you, will tap into their intuitiveness and to bless their clients that way. She said there are many good coaches around, but everybody is operating out of the way the textbook teach them to operate. And although that has helped me to 10x who I am, I'm still dragging my feet and developing my coaching. And I honestly think that that is what's going to help me to 20x my confidence, because I can hear Spirit saying, although you have not acted on coaching other people to build them up, to create them into tapping into their intuitiveness and to coach from that vantage point, now you are going to be doing that because it is part of what you are supposed to do. So I don't know where you are. I don't know what stage you are in your business. But when people ask you to speak or to show up at an event with them, say yes. Say yes. Say yes, because that is the only way to 10x your confidence. Yes, you're going to be shaking. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Yes, you might make mistakes. Who cares? Learn from the mistakes so you can build on what it is that you need to do. The next thing I did to connect my confidence, and this one I am still doing. As a matter of fact, if you're listening to me and you're the host of a podcast, a TV show, whatever, I want to be a guest. I want to be a guest. I remember my first radio interview. I got the opportunity. It was at midnight Eastern time. I lived in Connecticut at the time, and the interview was out in Baldwin, New York. Baldwin, New York. And guess what? You think I did not say yes? I said yes. I remember the host was Gail Richards. And let me see if I can find my book to show. Gail Richards had invited me and interviewed me. She interviewed me to talk about my new book at the time. And you know what? I said yes. I was not going to say, oh, Baldwin, New York is too far from Connecticut. I grabbed the opportunity and I went there. That was the first time I was interviewed on a radio. So, look in your life. Where are you? Are you looking to 10x or 5x or 20x or 30x your confidence? Let us decide not to settle. Let us decide not to settle. I hope that something I have said to you here this morning will encourage you. Now I want to take this opportunity to share with you about an event that is coming up, as a matter of fact, starting tomorrow. Starting tomorrow, I will start a series of master classes. This, I can assure you, will be your first step. You can see us showing, we're going to be showing you the transformative masterclass on forgiveness. The transformative masterclass on forgiveness. You can see the bit.ly/3YSWXBS. That's where you can get your ticket. I'm just waiting on my team to get the banner up. The banner up about the masterclass. This will be your first step to help you. The first step to help you to begin to 10x, because guess what? Can you please put the banner up for me with the text on it? This will be the first step towards thank you very much. The first step towards you 10xing yourself. Thank you very much. Now, this transformative masterclass is created for anyone who is looking to understand more about forgiveness, whether in their professional life or their personal life. Whether you're a coach, a therapist, a counselor, or just a small, not just, but a small business person that has some employees. The top 5 benefits that attendees will receive is emotional liberation, healing and inner peace, improved relationships, empowerment and self-growth, enhanced well-being and happiness. This masterclass series will start on the 7th of September at 8 p.m. Eastern, and it goes for 2.5 hours. You can register and read more about it at daphneclarke.com, or you can also call 203-885-5093. You can call that for more information. All right? So I look forward to seeing each and every one of you at the master class. It's a Zoom class, and you are required to register. You are required to register to attend the event. The investments is $149 per day, or you can register for 2 days up front and you can invest $249, and that includes the recording. You have the recording that you can begin to build your library on. So not only are you going to be getting the live masterclass, but you are going to also have the recordings as well. All right? So we're going to leave that on the screen, and we want to give people an opportunity to ask questions about anything I shared on how I 10x my confidence. Also on TikTok, go ahead, anybody on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn, type your question in the comments. We have another 2 minutes here that we can ask some questions. Any questions pertaining to how I 10x my self-confidence, my confidence? Any questions? Any questions? Hello over there on TikTok. Anybody have any questions? Even if there is something that you think is standing in your way, that's preventing you to get the courage to build your self-confidence, ask me any question pertaining to that to see if I can help you. We have another one, less than a minute we have. I joined late, but I share and like. Thank you, Martha. Martha, I hope, Martha Winston, I hope you come. Thank you for the roses. I hope you will subscribe to my YouTube, and you will be able to get all the recordings there. All right? Where are you joining from, Martha? All right. So let me end over on the other platforms, and I'll come here to see what Martha said. So I'm glad that I was able to share with you all on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter. Thank you so very much. And don't forget to come back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. And I know the Spirit will have something amazing for you. Looking forward to be in conversation with you again. Thank you. Bye, everybody.